G'day guys, this is Adam Kogan at TechEd New Zealand, and I'm here with Nick Lowe. How are you, Nick?
Not too bad, yourself?
I'm doing well.
Good.
And I'm here to talk to you about this thing on my wrist. You're responsible for that.
These blue bands, we are responsible for that. So this is basically an RFID chip inside the wristband,
Right.
and all designed to add value to the consumer experience and give, I guess, Microsoft crucial information around the conference.
Okay, so does it add value to an attendee?
Yeah, it does. So this wristband will give you a free smoothie at the Bling Cafe. It'll help you kind of with your evals by telling you kind of what you've seen here at TechEd, and let you kind of, I guess, simplify interacting with sponsors while you're here. So rather than having to enter details like multiple times, you just scan your wristband once and everything's kind of done on your behalf.
Right, okay. So the first value to an attendee is that they need to swipe this to go through a session?
Yeah, that's right. So every time they go into a session, they basically clock their wristband on the scanner on the way in. They basically tell the system kind of what they've been to, and when they come onto the mobile application, they can see all of the sessions they've been to, within the app.
Okay. All right, so how about we go and do that right now?
Sounds
I want
good.
to test it out.
Let's give it a go.
So I'll go up here and I'll look first at the session, whether I want to attend the session. Okay, it looks like a deep dive. I'll go and have a look at this. And it's just as simple as scanning in, right?
Yeah, that's right. You basically have to contact your wristband on there. So if you just touch the front of your wristband onto the reader, and that'll read you in, and then
Right.
you go.
So did you make it compulsory? Do I have to do this to go into the session?
No, it's not. It's not compulsory, and the idea, I guess, is that people can choose to scan it as they go, really to be able to see what they've kind of attended to make life a little bit easier for doing their evals and their kind of summary data afterwards.
Right.
Obviously, the more data that we collect, the more logistical information we have to be able to share with Microsoft afterwards around kind of, I guess, adding value around kind of the future planning of the conference, just kind of, I guess, understanding where the kind of audience is flowing and kind of how many seats they need in each room, basically.
So what do they miss out on if they don't scan in?
If they don't scan in, they basically won't see within their mobile application what they've been to at TechEd, so the kind of summary of activity won't be completed.
Right.
So we really encourage everybody to scan in.
Right, fair enough.
Yep.
Now, did you consider doing it rather than, I just missed it then, I didn't actually touch.
Right.
Did you consider doing a proximity sensor?
Yeah, basically because this wristband does a variety of activity, we kind of wanted to use contact-based, that we didn't end up with things kind of triggering when they kind of shouldn't be triggered.
Right.
So with things like the sponsor activities, we don't want people kind of just going within a certain range and then setting off a contest entry or whatever. So we've kind of gone with contact-based for that reason.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. So let's move on to the next section, because I believe I get a free smoothie, right?
There's a free drink in it for you.
Fantastic. Okay, Nick, so we've made it up the stairs and we're here for our free drink.
At the juice bar. All right, so let's show you how to get it done.
Okay.
So basically, a delegate comes up with the wristband. They touch the wristband on the terminal. I got a free drink. That tells the guys, actually, there's no one here right now, so I can't get my free drink. But if there was someone here right now, then that would basically tell them to give me a free drink. But if I try again, then no free drink, so only one per person.
And I've been watching almost every developer, after they get their smoothie, they try again to see if it really
Right,
stops them.
exactly. Yeah, that's right. And our security should be robust. There we
Yes.
go.
Okay, so we're at the exhibitors hall. Nick,
Yep, this is the hub.
I have a question for you. Have you ever seen this device?
What is that?
This is a little thing we got a couple of years ago at TechEd Australia.
Right.
And the functionality that it did is it basically allowed developers who met another developer to exchange contact details.
Right,
That
okay.
was its main thing.
Yep.
Did you consider having that functionality?
Yeah, actually, we did talk about that, and we didn't do it for a few reasons, but we did talk about being able to go up and swipe at stations to kind of share contacts. So I think the idea was we'd use the mobile application to be able to do that this time around, but yeah, it's a great opportunity.
Okay, all right, cool. Well, it did that, but it didn't do a lot of what we're going to see here.
Right.
So let's walk in and let's test out a couple of these vendors.
Sounds good.
This is Telerik, and hello VV, how are you going?
Hi Adam, very well.
Okay, an authentic Bulgarian voice all the way from Bulgaria. So I wouldn't mind knowing a little bit more about your tools.
Oh, Telerik has a lot of tools. We're well known for our tools for developers,
Fantastic.
especially for Microsoft.
Now, I'm in a bit of a rush. I was just wondering, how do I keep in touch with you?
First, you need to scan your wristband here.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Yep.
That was the right answer. That's what we wanted.
Okay, you need to click this button here, which is in a bit strange place because here you see the I'm done
Right.
over there, and here's the blue button, then the red one.
Okay, so they need a bit of hand holding here. I'll do it.
Yep.
I hope you don't spam me too much, Vivi.
Not
So-
too much.
All right, I'm in your database. All right, cool. Thank you.
No worries.
And so how's your experience been going with this?
As I said, most of the people just don't see this blue button here, so they just press the red one,
Right.
so we don't have their details. But this is a feedback that I'm going to send to Maya and the other
All right,
guys.
I'm sure they'll hear this. Okay, fantastic.
We always thought the close button was at that top right corner, but
Yes.
maybe not.
All right, so it's just a UI thing now. It's
Yeah,
not an RFID thing.
Yeah, good for
Okay, so let's move on to one other vendor, see if they do any better than Telerik. Okay.
Cheers, thanks.
It's Steve Woolley. How are you, Steve Woolley?
I'm great. How are you doing?
So I'm just wondering. I know that we know each other, but what is this thing all about? This Pluralsight thing?
Pluralsight, we're the leader in online training for developers.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm in a little bit of a rush. How do I keep in contact with you?
Yeah, I would love to get you scanned into the system, and so we can, enter the contest and win. We're giving stuff away every day this week.
Oh, there's a reason to give my contact details out. All right.
You scan your badge right over here. You get some.
All right. What do I do?
You put your badge right there on that
Okay.
little RFID.
All right. Let me
reader,
just get him out.
Maybe.
Done.
And then you can like us on Facebook.
Oh.
You can enter the contest.
All right. Well, that's going to be a bit of work, but enter the contest.
Yep. And we ask you a question: how many developer training courses do we have? I'll tell you. It's
Oh,
over-
there's a completely
over
different,
300.
completely different experience than the Telerik booth. All right.
Yeah.
So, how many courses do you think? Oh, I think you have about. Oh, come on.
300.
Oh.
Always go for the big answer.
All right.
And then you can still, because this system's pretty cool, you can like us on Facebook, and we just emailed you a link, so you don't actually have to do anything.
Oh, right.
So-
Okay. Fantastic. That's a nice experience. Okay. All right.
And then you get a free USB adapter as well. Just
Oh,
what you wanted.
I do. Okay, I'll take one of those gifts. Developers like anything for free.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. So, how's your experience been with this RFID thing?
It's great. We've liked it. At first, I wasn't quite sure, but people line up all by themselves and just scan their stuff in and enter the contest. So
Wow.
even when we're busy talking to people, they're over here doing it themselves. So,
So you do TechEds all around the
Yep,
world.
all around the world.
How does this experience compare with other ones?
So definitely better than a lot of them. At first, I thought we needed two or wished we had a couple, but it's worked out okay. It's been great.
Right.
So very, very good.
So his only complaint, Nick, is he
I
didn't
want
get two.
We could have two.
That's hilarious.
We're popular. You get 20, 30 people lined up here, and you maybe want a couple of them.
Right,
So-
fantastic. All right, thanks,
or the
Steve.
port-
So, Nick, we're into the war room here, I guess.
Control room, yep.
Okay, so we're going to see the back end and what's going on there, and hopefully some interesting data you're collecting.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so if I wanted to do this myself and get something like this up and running, is it expensive?
The gear involved is not expensive. The chips are relatively inexpensive. Obviously, you can get chips in kind of any form factor when we decide to go with wristbands.
When you say cheap, how cheap? 50 cents? $1?
Yeah, around that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's it. And then obviously we have CPUs driving all the terminals around
Yes.
the conference, and then just obviously the readers that are attached to those that then
So
obviously pick up the radio.
So the
frequency.
RFID reader, how expensive is it?
Man, you can get these things for like $30 or $40, so
Right.
they're pretty cheap.
Okay. all
Yep.
right. And they go up to $1,000, don't they?
You can get some expensive ones. Yeah, yeah,
All right. So a typical one is a couple $100, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay.
right.
All right. So cool. So let's have a look at the data you're collecting.
Cool.
So I guess there's data that you're collecting as it's happening, so you know where the sessions that are packed out right away.
Yep, that's right.
And then there's data you can look at like next year
Yep,
for planning purposes.
that's right.
So you could have a situation where you can work out, do developers really do, like they plan their schedule, they put it in their calendars, do they really attend the sessions? Because I'm going to put it to you, they're not, because I saw like 5 sessions where there were so many people stuck outside the rooms.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's it. So I think for us, this information is going to really help the planning of the conference moving forward. So kind of knowing kind of what people plan for. Obviously, when people kind of fill out their planning online, that gives us some information to kind of base the scheduling on. But actually, as we start to see stuff happening at the conference and get that real-time data, then we can kind of make better decisions moving forward around, kind of how many seats do we need for each of the kind of sessions.
Right. And have you learned anything amazing yet?
Actually, it's kind of early days, but we've seen a lot of activity going on, so we're now trying to figure out, okay, what are the insights? But that'll kind of happen over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right.
Cool.
So let's have a look at a couple of these reports. I can see my name there, so is that just because I've been to a sponsor?
Yeah, that's right. So we've basically at this stage just tracking kind of this view kind of shows us as everybody's kind of clicking the sponsors. So as you kind of choose to follow a sponsor or share details, we see the log of that here. We see kind of counts of all of those against each of the sponsors. We kind of see who's working it well and who's maybe not working it quite so hard. We also come in and view all the sessions, all the check-ins by session. And so we basically just kind of monitoring all this activity kind of going through the system. We can also bring up and show all the activity of things like contest entries, people who have basically linked their social media and posting those things out to things like Facebook. And we also do some basic maintenance. So if someone loses their wristband, we can kind of replace the wristband with a new one and not change the details and all that sort of stuff as well.
Okay, so developers can be cheap, right?
Right.
So, in the old system, they had their cards. They could share their cards with their friends.
Yeah, that's right.
Could you find out from here if they're doing that with their RFID readers?
Yeah, we can look them up. So we can basically look up each of the users in here and kind of see what they've done. And so Danika's just brought up my account right here. And then we can basically click in and look at my details. And then under my reporting, we'd be able to see, kind of how many times I've exchanged my details with one of the sponsors.
Right, cool. And how much work was it to build this interface?
The whole system was kind of a whole lot of work, and I guess it's all sort of designed to integrate with registration to kind of get the user data right from the outset, and then basically just do all the different activities that we're doing. And so this is all running over some cloud-based services, and there's kind of a significant back-end involved in this thing, and obviously the work to then kind of customize all the apps that sit around the conference as well.
Right. So it also provides Microsoft with good information about which sponsors are getting really good value from the conference?
Yeah, absolutely, that's right. So I think in the past, when people were exchanging business cards or collecting data manually, then obviously that reporting wasn't available. So we're really trying to advance the reporting and give everybody that real-time, immediate data.
Right, okay. Yeah. So Nick, this has been fascinating. We've seen how the RFID helps going into the sessions.
Yep.
And then getting our free smoothie.
Yep.
And then seeing the sponsors.
Yep.
So the last thing is the party, I guess.
That's it, that's right. So we're going to use the wristbands as the ticket to the TechFest party, which is later on tonight. And so each of the delegates who's coming to TechFest has basically got their ticket loaded onto the wristband.
Yep.
So when they enter the cloud tonight, they just swipe on the way in, and then the green light flashes and they kind of enter the party and go from there. We've also got some cool photo booths set up around the party, and so you can basically scan into the photo booths and kind of take photos and then pump those out to Facebook if you want to as well.
Okay, what about drinks? Does this get me some free drinks?
Well, actually, drinks are unlimited, so it doesn't need to, but we did talk about being able to do that. So we could, if we wanted to, be able to load a drinks card onto the wristband and kind of manage how many drinks you can kind of get off the back of that as well. But actually, it's unlimited, so we don't need to worry about that.
Okay, what I'd like to see is a report of all the developers drinking light beer.
That'll be very interesting to see. Yeah, that's right. We're going to run some contests off the back of that.
Yes, that's right, and not let them come next year.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Yeah, too much of a liability.
Fantastic. All right. So there's just a couple of suggestions I'd like to ask. The first one, we've talked about the business card swap, which would be great.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We've talked about, what was the other one?
The surveys.
Oh, yes, the surveys. Yep. Oh, yes, that'd be good. So if I could just go up to a computer, swipe my thing, and it comes up with the evals I've got to fill in.
That's
right. Be really useful.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. We talked about doing that, and I think really they just wanted to kind of give a few things a go this year, and if it goes well, then we can kind of build out on those things next year, which would be great to be able to do.
And the last thing would be gamification. It would be good if, I got a point for attending a session. Yep. I got a point for doing my evals. I got a point for getting my smoothies.
Yeah, cool.
For drinking drinks at the party.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a great idea actually, and then we can go do some big rewards or whatever off the back of that.
Yeah, and so as you came into sessions, you see your name up on the PowerPoint, etc.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, absolutely. No, that'll be great. So I think for us, it's really getting the learnings from this year and kind of seeing what's working well and working at opportunities and getting the feedback from people who are using it for real now, and then kind of working out what we can kind of do in the future. But really with this stuff, once your personal accounts linked, then we can kind of do heaps of stuff. So there's lots of opportunity in the future as well.
Well, Nick, I've attended TechEds all around the world, and you guys in New Zealand bring the best technology to TechEd.
Awesome, that's good to hear.
It's a credit to you, and I look forward to seeing what happens next year.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks very much. Great to meet you.
Cheers.
Cool.